Welcome to the Heavy Spoilers Show. I'm your host Paul, and this video we're turning it up to 11 to break down the brand new trailer for Stranger Things Season 4. Throughout this video we're going to be pointing out some of the Easter eggs and giving our theories on what the plot is and where things will be going in the show. Full spoilers ahead, so if you aren't caught up with the series then I highly recommend that you go through the doorway now. Make sure you like the video if you enjoy it, and don't forget to subscribe for more Stranger Things as we get them. With that out of the way, thank you for clicking this, now let's get into the video. Okay, so according to Wolfhard, Season 4 of Stranger Things is going to be the most horrifying hell ride through Hawkins that we've ever had. Last season ended with the group taking part in the Battle of the Star Court, in which Jim Hopper was assumed to have died. However, the post-credit scene teased at an American being held captive, and the trailer showed us that Jim was still alive and well in Russia. Like 11, he was very much at the behest of a government and had his head shaved much like her. The Duffer brothers cleared it up and said that this was actually Kamchatka and that Hopper would be facing enemies both human and worse. Now at this location we also know there is a Demogorgon, so it's going to be interesting to see if any more of the monsters pop up. The Russians were using forced labour to help build the railroad tracks, and it looks like a prisoner camp due to the guards patrolling it and shouting at the people there. A train line being built is very interesting, as of course it could be a way to transport creatures that come from the upside down. Now as for the show in general, I think we have to acknowledge further comments made by the Duffer brothers when they discussed the season. They stated that something long buried and forgotten would be emerging once more, and it looks like you better hold on to your butts because the Mind Flayer is back. The Russians are clearly still carrying out experiments on the upside down, and they may create a way for the creatures to come across into our world. We know that the first episode of Season 4 will be called the Hellfire Club, which is likely a nod to the X-Men. The club tried to recruit Jean Grey, who of course has telekinetic powers just like 11. Now this takes us into the first look, which has a lot of fans, including me, slightly confused. I have seen a couple of complaints stating that they're just telling a story we already know, which is the origin of 11. Whilst I do think that is the case and that this is a prequel thing rather than 11 being captured and then put back in for testing, I think it does tease at what Season 4 will be centered around. I went fully in depth on this, maybe too far, and I just want to give a reach warning, but hopefully after I explain it you'll agree with me, or else there'll be trouble. Now I believe that this teaser trailer is hinting at several of the other children from this lab coming back into the show. I think they will be introduced as new characters, and potentially this could be the aforementioned Hellfire Club. If we're sticking with the X-Men metaphor, then maybe all these children have incredible abilities and powers. Now in the show we already have come across one of these kids, namely Callie, aka 8. We discovered that she escaped the lab years and years before, and this is why there was a lot of mystery surrounding her. But with 11 being freed too, and the doctors involved in it being nowhere to be seen, it does make sense that the other children managed to get out as well. In this trailer there are several hints towards this, and a heavy focus on the kids themselves. However, it goes way beyond that, and throughout the teaser there are several numbers that appear. Now the first one is on the clock, in which we see that the time is 3. This could either be pointing towards the number 12, 3, or perhaps even both. Next we cut to the camera, and if you turn the brightness upon it, you can see that there is a 5 in the reflection. We also see a magic 8 ball, and though we don't get the number shown directly to us, we do get the triangle saying signs point to yes. It's long been theorized that Callie would return, and it's even been hinted at by the writers, therefore the signs point to it being yes, that she's back. See, I told you there was going to be a lot of reaching. Now next we see a disc, I want to say disc, it might not be, but we see a disc being dropped through some nails. The disc lands in 7, potentially hinting at this character too. At this point there are more numbers revealed, including 3, 5 and 6, however I'm unsure exactly on whether this confirms them or not. The clock hit 3 as we started the trailer, the 8 ball was shook to hammer home we could be getting 8, and the disc hitting 7 I think means that they're in it too. However, I might be wrong from all that reaching, and the numbers that we see could just not be the people involved at all. Perhaps I should have stretched before I reached this hard. I'll tell you what though, I believe that the children we see in the next shot are the ones who could be popping up as teens, and we may be introduced to them properly. Now the trailer is creepy as hell, and this is obviously meant to be a nursery or classroom, and we see the kids playing games and so on, but the sterile environment is just so off-putting. The clock constantly ticking away in the background makes it seem like the whole fun environment that this is supposed to be has been completely subverted, and you definitely wouldn't want to send your kids here. There's a shot where they weirdly crawl in the lines of a rainbow, which just doesn't feel natural, and it's all very unnerving. Next, we see the back of Dr. Martin Brenner's head. Brenner apparently died after being killed by a Demogorgon, but I just have a suspicion that he's still alive. Now, whilst I do think that this is a prequel moment, we never saw his body, and I would love to see him pop up in flashbacks before it's revealed that he's actually still alive. Who knows, he may even end up helping Eleven get to Hopper. I think he will be a big character in the show once more. The Duffer brothers could be referring to Brenner when they talk about something long forgotten, as at this point he feels like a distant memory. He enters where the children are and says "Good morning, children," to which they respond with "Good morning, Papa," a nickname that he had in the show. We then go past even more numbers, which contain 7, 9, 10, and lastly 11, who we settle on. Now, the numbers theory might be completely wrong. I just feel like it's constantly hitting us over the head with them, and in this trailer we are in an environment where children were given numbers as names. This makes me think the entire teaser is put in place just to let us know that the kids will be in the show, all grown up, and helping Eleven to get her powers back. She did of course lose them at the end of the last season, and I do believe that her trying to regain these in order to find Hopper will be a big plot point. Brenner says, "I have something very special planned for you," and we then hear a voice say, "Eleven, are you listening?" At this point, Millie Bobby Brown's eyes are shown waking up. This seems to be her as she currently is, rather than how she was in the first season, and this may even be a therapy session or a hypnosis one. I could actually see this scene being her revisiting these moments from her memories in order to recall certain points in her past. I think that probably is very likely, as the scene as a whole is very nightmarish, and it's definitely something that you wouldn't really want to remember. Now, that is a new look, but the description on the video interestingly contains numbers too. These could be a release date, it could be setting something else up, but let me know below if you have a theory. Now, as for the trailer, I was confused at first, but in the end, they've done a really good job of getting me back on board the hype train. Initially, I had no idea what was going on, but after switching on that heavy spoilers brain and deep diving, there are a couple of cool tidbits. The pandemic caused a lot of issues with the show, but now that things are slowly opening up, we're able to pick up where we left off. This season actually started shooting all the way back in October 29, so it has been a while, but I'm glad that we're finally here. At the moment, I'm unsure whether this will be the last season or not, and the creative team have gone back and forth between wanting to do 2 more seasons of the show or just the 1. They have, however, said that there's a big death coming, and it will be interesting to see what happens. I know a lot of you think that it's going to be Eleven who dies, but after all she's been through, I do think she deserves a happy ending. And obviously, I'd love to hear your thoughts on the teaser, so make sure you comment below and let me know. As a thank you for interacting with the video, you'll be entered into a prize drawn the 30th of May, in which we're giving away 3 copies of the Godzilla vs. Kong collection. All you have to do to be on the chance of winning is like the video, make sure you subscribe with notifications on, and drop a comment below with your thoughts on the trailer. The winners of last month's competition are on screen right now, so if that's you, then message me on Twitter at Heavy Spoilers. If you want something else to watch, then we've got 2 great videos on screen right now that you're definitely gonna love, I promise you that. Maybe not, but just check them out anyway. If you're still here, I know you haven't left, and thanks for sitting through the video until the end. I've been Paul, you've been the best. Take care, and that's another terrible outro. Goodbye.